Namaste, welcome everyone to this meeting today, and please forgive us being a bit late. We have been rushing around a bit for some things we have to do. And is it a good idea that I sit here? It's good, no? Because it feels better for me. But I wonder if people at the back are able to feel. I thought it would bring us a bit closer, but then I don't know. Be free to come more, you know. If you want to come more closely, you can do this and put the instruments maybe on the platform. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if you can't see me, I can't see you. So it's okay. It's fine too also. Very good. Thank you for coming today. Those of you who came yesterday, you slept okay last night or what? No. Why? Yes.
Yesterday, I'm sick. I'm sick of this thing that comes with the invitation. It's just been so clear, you know. But since the summer, there's just been so much, like breakdowns, like these through sangha, through your grace, like breakdowns, and I see that these things needed to be seen, but it's been really strong. But somehow there's a rising up each time, and then it's all seen that whatever's moving, like the falling, the rising, it's all seen. Yesterday, like since hearing you were coming here, it was really beautiful actually, just very, very serene inside.
Yes.
And then sort of coming yesterday, it just started this turbulence, I suppose, but it was, even to talk about it just seems like it's kind of gone.
Okay.
But because I just wish to put it at your feet, whatever's left here, Guruji, and whatever's.
What is important, you know, is that whatever comes up, and everyone experiences, you know, some kind of cathartic reactions can come, especially when you're so much having the sense that you're approaching, so much is falling away, and then of course stuff is going to come up like that. But I would hope that, you know, what you have discovered in terms of the seeing that has taken place is infinitely greater than whatever it is that the beingness has to burp up, you know. And the more the eyes change their focus from what is coming up to what is not moving, then it is as though whatever it is that's being burped up becomes lighter and lighter for you. The appreciation, the grace, the love, the space, you see, that you are discovering, sometimes I say as the recovering consciousness, you're discovering the immensity of being. And then these other things become very small, and they don't have that impact. And if there is an impact, on whom is it impacting, you see? You must really look at that, you see. From the place of the isness itself. You understand now when I use the terms like isness, it's only a pointer, no? To that which is actually wordless itself. And I'm happy if I can use terms like this and you don't feel lost now. It resonates within your being. When I say from the place of the isness, what is the trouble? You see? Just some little remnants of identity and so on is still, flapping in the wind of in the mind and so on. And each day should be lessening in their intensity.
This is the thing, because most of the time it is, and it feels around sangha, something sort of knows it's coming to see you, and something is like, it's almost like, it's just a knee-jerk reaction, which is watched, and yesterday it felt fine, and then it's just, it dissipates. It's beautiful to see that, it's there, but it's going, and with the invitation, the inquiry as well has been used to really see who is it that's being affected.
Yeah. Yes.
And nothing's been found. Like each time it's looked for, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In some ways, when you say things should be getting less, it just yes, and then it is.
Well, it gets lessened by your decreasing interest towards them. Nothing is really happening. At some point, they won't really leave any footprints in the consciousness at all. You see? Because these energies, they love you talking about them. So there it goes again. Gradually, these so-called attacks, they have to be weakening and falling away. And naturally, even unforced, they fall away as you come into a firmer and deeper recognition of what is true and real in you. You see? As the isness faded since yesterday? As it dropped some 20% or something? If you have this itch that somehow you need to know and need to find out what's happening, then this itself is stirring up more trivia to come to the surface. And it's good if they come to the surface and they pop and vanish, then it's fine. But I would not give so much importance to them. Actually, whatever we see and experience, it is just like clouds passing, actually. When we identify strongly with the sense of the person who is suffering them, they appear to be coming back. Actually, no cloud that passes comes back. Maybe another one that resembled it they're gone. But our interest in them and the persistence and loyalty to personal identity, somehow opens a door for these energies to keep playing. Okay. Good. Did you have your hand up before?
I did.
It's coming.
Hello.
Hi.
It was kind of like linked with what you were talking about, and I had a real profound sense of returning yesterday.
Yes.
And I found it incredibly moving because I felt lost and disconnected, and then suddenly the connection was back, and I felt that I returned. Today, I had to go to an important meeting, and I had a sense, it popped up again, I had a sense of not belonging, of
It's just a thought.
of being an imposter in this really, really important meeting. So And then I remembered, and then... So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It was just in connection with what...
As I mentioned yesterday, that like a kind of reflex, the attention goes back to the old mentality, the old perspective, or the whole regime of identity. But this is more easily detected now from the space of the isness or the beingness. You see, you are now able to watch the play of identity and its functioning without getting pulled into the noise of the mind. You know? You're able to do it. You're from the place of the isness. You see, I want to just to be clear as to whether when we speak of this, isness is another kind of like is a kind of psychological escape space or something, or whether, as I pointed yesterday and asked you to confirm, can it fluctuate? Can it go away? Or can it fade? Can you exist independent of it, actually? You see? And as you confirm these things experientially, your power again comes back.
Yes.
Because when you speak from the place of personhood, already the energy drops and you're in a position of weakness, which is not true of yourself. But the habit of identifying will give this feeling that, oh yes, now I've got to go to a meeting and this I would do something. What happened if I, and what is it? There's nothing at all. Gradually, you're going to come to accept more and more, to appreciate more and more what you have discovered. You see?
Yeah.
But for a while, there may be this oscillation from the mind again to the sense of being, and then this oscillation. And you'll identify with it, and you'll feel caught up in this pendulum. But gradually, you're going to see that also this moving, this swinging pendulum is also observed from a deeper space. When I say the space of the isness, you see, oh, it's just habit, you know, to identify personally that brings in all this noise.
Yes.
You see? Nothing has changed. At the place of the isness, nothing has changed. From the beginning of time, nothing has changed for that. But for the body-mind functioning, every day is change. Everything is moving, you see? And in that realm, we have identified ourselves. So even the idea we have of ourselves is constantly changing. There's nothing we can do about that. Ideas come and go. What is perceiving? They're coming and going. See? It's just a habit to give too much attention to the mind play, to the flow of thought, the thought activity, you see. And because we give so much importance to it, it becomes important to you. But as you pay more attention to that which is unchanging within you, that which is unchanging, but yet it is never stale, it is never stagnant. The mind cannot grasp it, you see. And that is the constant field that I was pointing. Someone gave me a book today where you got the bag. What is your name again? Diana? Yes. She just, as I was waiting at the back, and I was flicking through the pages. Actually, it's the Tao Te Ching, the Tao by Lao Tzu, something, you know. And I just flicked it open. It says here, merged in the Tao. Look deeply into emptiness. Observe its steady silence. The myriad of beings appear, completely merged. Notice their return. All matter and all beings return together to their origin. Return to one's origin is quietude. It is return to one's destiny. Return to one's natural state. of infinite interbeing. Recognizing the natural state is seeing clearly. Not recognizing the natural state is ignorance, the cause of one's own suffering. Aware of the natural state, all are held equally in universal love, the supreme ruler, the way of heaven and of the Tao, forever merged in the Tao, no danger. What is this Tao? It is what I refer to as the isness. What I've read is about what? About you. I can open any page. The gift of understanding, the soft and supple, easily overwhelms the hard and rigid. Infinite non-being permeates all being, non-doing's richness. The master acts quietly without agenda, so that all may see. Silent understanding, unparalleled. Anywhere you want to look. It's only pointing to that. If it points to some phenomenon, then it will not be reliable. Tomorrow we'll read again, it will feel differently. Because even if the words don't change, your moods will change. You see? From the place of the isness, both the words, the reading of them, the mood of them, the reader of them are all perceived as a movement, clouds passing in the unchanging and immense beingness. Can it be lost, you see? For so long it appeared to be lost. Now we point again to fresh seeing. It cannot even be called new, nor old. The ways of the mind are ancient, but yourself is timeless. In any scripture, from any religion, from any place, you'll find something of what I say. Maybe the thing most missed. Missing what is obvious. Here in the microphone here. Okay. Whoa, yes.
I woke you up. Guruji, as I sit here, yesterday you talked of leaving the mind outside. And he went and sat, okay?
Say again?
He went and sat.
He went outside.
On his chair.
Yes.
And as I sit here with you, I'm always surprised by how much he wants to take all of this. So everything that is on offer, the grace, the love, the people in this room, the victory, he wants it. And I can see that he can't really cross the shore. But he doesn't want to know that, really. Part of him does. Part of him does. Part of him is devoted. Take me, take me, take me. But not really. Not when he finds out that he is going to drop. And even as I say this, it's shaking. Yeah? So it's like 50% joy, 50% terror. Yeah. And I see...
What is able to see 50% joy, 50% terror? What percentage is looking at 50% joy, 50% trouble?
I don't know.
But there is an awareness, isn't it, in which the sense of, okay, there is even the mind also seems to have an aspiration somehow. Half of it wants to come in, to be pulled in into the heart. The other half is outside shaking. What perceives this? Let's stop for a moment and look. That space in which this assessment is perceived, what does it want? What really is there in this place? But you say, yeah, I know, but still the mind won't. It just won't calm down. He's really shuffled up now. And it seems as though the mind feeling shuffled up creates a disturbance inside you. And sometimes I would say, this is the one baby, when it cries, don't pick him up. It's crying for attention. But it's a fake cry. And the power it will get is in succeeding in convincing you to become a person. All troubles in the world are person-based. You see? Because when you're identified as a person, this voice feels tangible, it feels real, it seems to matter, it seems to be speaking some sense and everything. So it can only be corresponding to the sense of the person. I've said before that the psychological nature of the mind cannot intimidate the pure self. It can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are, not the truth of who you are. In order to do this, it must try to remind you of your person. When you're in the state of personhood, then its influence is heightened, you see. If not, it's not even noticed. It's not that in the case of an awakened being that suddenly, these things just don't arise anymore. What really happens is that you lose all interest in it. And when all interest is lost, these impressions, they don't register in your being. Just like you're never, you can only be disturbed by something that has meaning for you. If it has no meaning for you, then it will not be recorded in the being. It will not be, be of any significance like that.
Whilst it is seen, is it better to, even as I say better, I know it's neither, but is it better to invite that person in or to shut him out?
The person meaning what, the mind?
Yeah, the mind, yeah. So losing interest in that person because it's not real.
The mind cannot live by itself. It can only live through a relationship.
But does it belong in the house? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes. It springs from the same source.
So it's okay to let in, as long as we don't confuse.
If you think of letting him in, it implies he's already out. In a sense, no? Because it's not you're trying to get to him, he's trying to get to you, isn't it?
As it should be.
We can all live without the psychological mind. You can transcend that. But it cannot exist without you. You have to judge which is the greater. What happens is that we're still susceptible to we're still meeting from the place of personhood. Actually, mind in this form is very, very useful because it will test what you say you know. You see, It is necessary up to a point. When you transcend its influence, and then it will be no more a trouble for you. You see? Now we speak in the mind, and the mind comes, the mind is so strong, and so on and so. But it will soon be that even this thing you will not, there'll come a time you'll not even be able to say such things anymore. Because they will not be true for you anymore. Mind is in its aspect as the cognizing of the manifest world. It is fine like this, but the interpretation based upon personhood, because you, the self, the isness, in your manifestation, in the manifestation as life, take on, or we paint a portrait of ourselves, not deliberately. We are compelled somehow into identifying first personally with the body and with the conditioning, and that arises within as that's where the person really is born. Before the person comes into the play, the pure being, the isness, is already there. And even throughout the duration of the life of the person, the beingness or the isness remains untouched. This is what I wanted to demonstrate with you, so that you could experience and see that deep within your heart, without even thinking about it, you could confirm the truth of this, Then I ask, how can we reconcile this seeming difference between the purity of the isness and the busyness of the person? Where do they meet? You see? And I said, don't give too much thought to this. For now, you've crossed over onto safe shore. Just be there and marinate in it, meaning keep your attention here, just in the sense of being. Right here at that point, the mind is going to try everything to try and somehow seduce your attention to come back into personhood with the things that you need to do, the responsibilities you have, and the responsibilities you are ignoring in order to experience this isness thing and all of this stuff. Will you fall for it, you see? And in some case, as I say, due to habit, you find yourself again in that position. But grace is with you. And you're going to find at a certain point, oh, what is this? You can throw it off. And that movement, that swinging from personhood to presence will continue for some time. But gradually, the pendulum will come more into presence. And the sense of person will become thinner and thinner. You see?
One more thing. The sneakiest part of my mind, it seems, is there is a part of my person that seems to be able to masquerade as the isness. It tries to take on that shape.
What is it that knows it's only masquerading?
Whatever he is not.
You may say the intelligence from the beingness can detect very easily that it's only pretending, it's only trying or attempting to change something, but it's only a play, it cannot be real. That's why you use the word masquerading. And why I say also to stay in the place of just the isness, because you see, it's the mind itself that wants to have this conversation. Yeah, so tell me about the isness. When I come, I say, no, just stay here. Like a newborn child, it just suckles and lies there. Just stay, in the lap of God. You cannot send a 1-day-old child go out and get the newspapers and, go and sign up for some life insurance or whatever. No, your time now is just to be in there marinating in this state. Not thinking, but simply just, it's indescribable. And I would also encourage that you don't talk about it with anybody. It's just something has happened. Something is beginning to flower within you. Don't write a story about it. Just be present with that flowering. And gradually, unexpectedly, some waves of illumination will start to come in your mind. Oh, some clarity that is not coming from torturous thinking, but from grace illumines the mind. Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you, and I painted you a picture.
You did?
Is that okay if I give it to you?
Sure is. Come. This. Okay. Open. Oh, should I open? I always find it difficult. I don't like to do it, not to rip things. So I don't know. Rip it. Okay. Yeah, help me then.
A few different of your metaphors in it.
Okay. Says, please leave your mind outside. Signed, the is-ness here. It is not easy to really comprehend what it means, how to leave the mind outside. Therefore, I said what it simply meant is just to not engage while we're sitting together, and especially during the course, for the course of the. Can I put this up where we can see, or someplace there? Thank you so much. Stay here. That. What I really mean here when I say leave the mind outside was simply for the duration of the guidance, which is only 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. Let's not talk about the past. Okay? And I said like this. If it is the prayer in your heart or the longing inside is for what I would call the greatest discovery in the human kingdom. Just simply to recognize, to come to know who you are. And then I said, okay, then for this, I said playfully, then come into the space, come into my room of being, but leave your shoes outside. And then one more thing I say, please leave also mind outside. And the response come, but how to leave my mind outside? Is it possible? So I say, it simply means don't talk about the past and what kind of person you are and what you've done and how much meditation. You just leave all these things. And any idea you may have about your person or about life, how life should be, or what you would like, the world you'd kind of like to live in the future, all these things. Please just leave all these things for now. And whatever desires you may have, or even memories, don't talk about it for a moment. Let's just leave them just for a moment. And I say, I'm going to ask you to do this just for the short duration of our talk. After we're finished, of course, you can take all your things back. But let us just continue like that. Just become empty. So you're not collecting, and you're not a container of concepts and ideas and projections or any spiritual fantasy, none of these things. Just leave them aside for now. And you can do it. In fact, you're going to see that it is a beautiful relief to just drop everything. Who tells you to do such things? Leave everything for now. No tools, no techniques. Simply abandon these things for a moment. So you're completely zero, empty, 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 empty. And don't pick up any new ideas. I also ask that you don't hold on to any projections or any expectations, even for enlightenment. I say just leave everything. Be so empty, beyond even the concept of emptiness. You can do. If everything that you can perceive, your thoughts, feelings, imagination, learning, lineage, everything, if you leave all these things, everything you've taken out, until there's nothing left to take out. Something remains that cannot be touched. It cannot be taken out or put in. Just be here. And then I just started to ask you some simple questions. I said it was very important to ask you to come to this stage. Just be empty. Even your belief systems, just suspend for a moment. So there's nothing for you to become, nothing to change, nothing to keep, nothing to fix, nothing to give, nothing to take. Empty. Then I ask you, this that remain, is it an object? That which is simply here. When everything that you can think of, everything you can imagine, has been left aside. What remain? Can it be photographed or captured in some way? That which is here. Was it created? Does it belong to some people and not to others? Does it belong to anybody at all? Can it become sick or depressed? Did it come from somewhere? Can it leave? Can it belong to any religion or any institution? Does it have any expectations? Does it judge anyone? Can it be shared? Does it require belief in order to exist? Can it fade? Does it accept or reject anything or anyone? Can it be manipulated? Does it have desire or judgment? How old is it? Does it know inside or outside? If there were other species of being, can they exist outside of it? Does it have a boundary beyond which it is not? Did you create it? Was it born? Can it end? Don't fall asleep. Don't miss your chance. Then finally I asked, how far away from you is it? Can you reach it? Does it have a form, or shape, or size, or color, or weight? If it has no form, if it is not an object, How are you perceiving it? What gave you the power to know that it is uncreated? And that you could respond so smoothly. If there's no distance between yourself and this isness or what is, then it must be the same as you. Can this be true? Is it the product of your imagination? All that we see, or imagine, or taste, or think of, one day will be gone. Everything that appears in the mind are like clouds passing. You are like the infinite sky. From the core of your own self, you notice all this. Everything is passing, except you. One day this very body will also pass. What difference will it make to this? Of what value is such a discovery? And to whom? You yourself are the timeless one, wearing the mask of time and change, of names and forms. But unlike time, you're not passing. Is this true? What is the goal of all seeking? Is it not to discover this? Knowing which, discovering which, one crosses over from death to immortality. Even the term immortality means nothing for it. What must the isness practice? And yet all that we see and experience emanates out of it. exists in it, dissolves in it. Yet nothing can add to it or take anything away from it. To whom do I speak? And who am I who speak? For a time we were not attracted to these things. What brought you to this? Some urge arising in your being is calling a power within you, call your attention. Look here. Find me. And you find yourself. And to love me is to love yourself. It says, it is I who give life to life. It is it who says, I am the one who became many, but only apparently. Who will be left out? It is from the isness. It is it who says, I will never leave you. And have you ever known such peace? Or love? Or joy? It is the one who says, bring your greatest minds together. Try to reach me by study, and you will never find me. But if you love me, I'm all yours. great sage, his name many of you know, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, he said this thing. He says, I am that principle that witnessed the dissolution of the entire universe, and yet I remain untouched. Can you find that space within yourself where you can verify his words in you? And discovering this, where can problems exist in you? A veil of ignorance came over this entire manifestation. And in one instant, all this was forgotten. Now you're more than remembering. Who are you to lose it? With what can it be compared? But something wants you to forget this. In order to perpetuate a life of ignorance. There are so many things we can talk about. There are so many questions. They're almost unending. But by grace, you've been brought to the quintessential understanding. When we count what? 1, 2, 3, 4. But this understanding is at 0. No one counts 0, 1, 2. You stay at 0. It is greater than everything. and don't talk about it. Marinate in it, be one with it. Stay here in the place of your recognition. Outwardly, move in the world as is your nature. But inside, remain in the serenity of your own awakening. And from here, observe the greatness of God. Not a God that is created out of the mind of man, but that which is true and pure, who has given birth to all of this. That we can taste the diversity of the manifest and yet not be conquered by the senses and the mind. So, let this be your golden age. Yeah. An incomparable recognition. Indescribable. And yet distanceless to you. Now I want to know, have I gone too far in speaking of these things? Okay.
Grateful to you.
Okay. So again I ask you, because you're in the perfect place to say, can this fade? No. You're recognizing this now. But where has it been all this time? And also that you suspended for a time what you conceived of and perceived to be your mind and your person and your thoughts and memories, desires, assessments, beliefs. have back any time you want. So what now?
Can I just tell you
Here it is, here it is, yeah. Yes, my love. That's me. Oh, okay, thank you.
I just want to express my love for you, that my heart feels like it's about to explode. I'm so happy.
Yes.
I think I'm going to explode into the ceiling. And
You know, I've been waiting for this to see if it really happened.
I think it is.
So many promises. And
This moment
it's not.
now. And it's
Actually, you're imploding.
it's every day, every
Yeah.
minute of every day.
Yes.
I have so much love in my heart.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with it. I can't express how much gratitude I have and how much I love you and my family and my children and my husband. And in the beginning, I hated everything. I hated all of them. And there I did. But they are all the same, except the change in me is just incredible. I love everything, my life, and it's because of you. Because of what you've given to me, and you've given this to my family, to my street, to my neighbourhood, to my beautiful sangha group. How can I ever thank you?
By staying like you are.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead.
So grateful.
It is very wonderful to hear you. I don't feel that the world needs, more teachings and more this and this. No. I feel really what the teachings have always been here. The truth has always been here. If anything I feel would be good is to meet more beings whose life is the evidence of the truth. They don't have to be preaching, they don't have to be teaching, just to be. You see? Because your life changing in the way it has, your mind living inside your heart, is the greatest gift you can give in this life. I don't think anything can bring greater joy. It doesn't matter how challenging, how painful your life has been. This is your refresh button. I feel everyone, consciously or unconsciously, are searching for this. A place of unchanging peace in itself. When we go back into the role of person, then somehow it's not going to fit so well. No. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing when something in you is not able to tolerate the ego anymore. And it's a natural transition, it's a natural transcending also. And grace is with you. Of course, mind attacks may come. but nothing can overwhelm the isness.
I knew in my heart, man.
Sadhu,
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, my love.
I'd like to report something. First, thank you so much for everything, Guruji. And it's been so amazing, my life. And it's unfolding very beautifully. Externally, I have nothing. But inside, it's been deepening so much. And Mountain Arunachala keeps calling me, especially during Shivaratri. So I've been doing every past 2 years. I go around the Girivanam, and each time I do, something falls away. Come back, it takes away, and especially the housing, I have no home. And then it keeps moving. So last year I moved 6 times, just going about. But inside, so much happiness. I can't even explain that.
Yes.
And you're always in my heart, Guruji. And this time again, he's called me. There's no money. I tell Arunachala, I have no money. How can I come? And then he gives me money. He just comes.
Yes.
So, but eventually, like when I do my prayers in the morning, and Arunachala said, you come and stay with me. So I'm going for 2 weeks in February, but I'm going to make arrangements to go back and live there. Just need your blessings.
Yes.
I was so happy to know that you're coming. You come here. I was not sure that I'll be able to see you again, in your physical presence. But when I came to know you're here, I was so happy.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for all that you give us and to the whole sangha. Without you people, I don't know what we would have done. And I felt Ramana Maharishi's guidance. When this happened a few years ago, I asked for my truth, and it happened very fast. I didn't know what this was, and I didn't know what was happening in me. And I said, I need some guidance. And you just appeared, your link appeared on Facebook, and from that on, I got all the message through you. So at the right time, you came. And the first video I saw of yours, can this perceive or be perceived? That was the first. Because I didn't know, how do you know what's happening in me? That was the first thought came, said, and then I realized, and then I think it's like you literally caught my hand, you walked me home via internet, so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Myself also, I had my own, resistances to internet and all these things and so on, a bit of a caveman, But I have to say that I had to change my mind about it when I saw that it was possible, that beings could begin to wake up to the truth through this service. So I'm very happy for that. You see?
Guruji, I have a little song I want to sing. I'm not a musician, but can I sing this song for you?
Yes,
Lord
yes.
Ganesha it is.
Yeah.
Just bear with me, I'm not a singer, okay? Shri Gananada Sinduravana Karuna Sagara Karivadana Lambodara Lakumikara Ambasuta Amaravinuta Siddhacharana Ganasevita Siddhi Vinayaka Te Namo Namo.
Are we going to have some tea? Did we do something? Okay, maybe people can relax a little bit and see if there's some tea, and I'll be here for a few minutes, and I need to go and rest my eyes after that. Some can come and say hello or something. It's good like this?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Come. What is this now? Popcorn or what? What is this? Moojibaba powder.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for everything. It's just a little gift that me and Marlon want to give to Guruji.
Thank you.
It's baobab fruit powder.
Tell me something about it. It's good?
It's very good.
Yes?
Very rich in vitamin C.
Yeah.
This is from Angola.
Cha-cha.
Yes.
Will it help me to lose some weight as well? It's tea, like you make powder, you put it in tea or smoothie.
You can make it into a smoothie, make it into a juice.
Ah.
You can put it into soups. Things like that. Yes.
You like this baobab?
Baobabs.
Baobabs. You like it? That's good.
You make ice cream with it, isn't it?
He makes ice cream with it.
Yes, we can make ice cream.
Nice.
Even we saw you in the TV.
Huh? You say what?
What did you say?
Even we saw you in the TV.
You saw me on TV? Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Very happy to see you. What is your name?
Marlon.
Marlon. Nice name. Very good.
Even we got a picture for you. It's in my house.
You made a picture for me.
It's in the house. It's in my house.
Ah, okay. So I'll see it sometime, no? Okay.
Thank you, boy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you. So wonderful. You're going to come and see me
Yeah.
in Perth? Ah, good.
Can I come to Montfraja?
Yeah.
Very good.
Guruji, he sings very well.
Ah, you sing as well? Can you sing something for me? Sitara.
Sitaram. Sing together with me. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram.
Sitaram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Sitaram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram.
Ram.
Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sadhguru Shri Moojibaba ki
I love you.
Me too.
Wonderful.
Mooji, I have a quick request. So I'm pregnant right now, and I just appreciate your blessings for me and for the baby, and help us to be where you are,
Yes,
both of us.
yes. Full. Beautiful unfolding and everything that is good for you. Let it be like that. Very good. Okay.
I just wanted to say, Mooji, yesterday was my first satsang. I just want to express my gratitude. What an honor it's been to be here with you and with everyone here.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Look at that. First satsang, and already something, this must come from your heart to say that. First satsang. This is so wonderful that we can have sharing like this, and it doesn't have to be just some strenuous mental things, and that just so easily this sharing, which I sometimes call the mirror of God, that somehow bypassing, I used to say we have to become like the cow that jumped over the moon, and what we meant is, well, I grew up with these little nursery rhymes and things like this. The mind is, in this case, the moon. To jump over the mind, rather than try to work through the mind to get to the self, jump over him. You see, in one go. And just like this, in short time, you already come more and more into the deep recognition of what is timeless and imperishable within your own self. And from here, something will continue to stabilize, to deepen, to become more powerful, more spontaneity, more freshness like that. So I'm very happy that you came.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Come, give me a hug and come here with it. Very good. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So good, so good. You don't want to go and have some tea or what? Huh? Yes, yes. Come. Yes, they come. Let them come first. They're coming. Hey, hey, wonderful. So wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So good, so good. Yeah. So wonderful, so wonderful.
They asked to come, and
They asked to come. You said they asked to come. And,
yes.
this is very, very wonderful. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. All family, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So happy, so happy. Thank you. Yeah. Good. So peace.
It's a,
You got the mile.
they've been asking when Guruji is coming to London, and we also went to Portugal, but we didn't manage to go to Monte Sahaja, and they're still asking. And when I told them that Guruji will be in London, yeah, they all wanted to come, so they didn't go to school today. Yeah, they were a bit shy to come over now. They decided to come, but to stand up from the chairs, they were like hesitating, but finally, thank you very much.
I am very happy you come.
Thank you, Guruji.
Can I ask you something? Yes. Would you like to come and see me in Monte Sahaja sometime?
Yes, please.
All of you would like you to come. All of you would like to come. Yes?
Yes, thank you, Guruji.
Oh, thank you. So great. So happy to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Aye.
We waited for that moment, for this moment.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we are so happy to be here.
Me too.
Thank you. And we hope, I think this will continue. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This alone will continue.
Yes.
Everything come and go.
Yes.
But this thing continue.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So happy. Thank you for coming today. And I think it's okay to get off school for today. So good. Oh, will I get into trouble for saying that? I'm so happy. So we have an understanding, so you will come, no?
Yes.
Yeah, we we say like this. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll begin to look at that together. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, love you. Thank you. Very much.
Give myself to you completely. Something just wants to take me away. There's too much love here. It's trying to, it's always holding me back. And this taste is too much. It's too beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've been arrogant and proud. No. And on the flip side, just fall for the talk of the mind, you know? I give myself to you completely. Because something now, like having spoken earlier, it just feels so bad. Like seeing all the love and the gratitude, and something just brings to my mind again, like this thing. It's like, but I do struggle with it, you know, sometimes. I'm just with the invitation, and everything is for this, you know.
Yes.
And I just give myself to you fully, as much as I can. Because
There's
there's
only the one. There's only the one. Call it by whatever names we call. There's only the one, and we are sourced in it. It is our own source and self. You see, there's only the one.
Don't let me go. Let me go, please.
I come with you and you stay with me.
Thank you.